Hey guys, welcome to Contest Prep University. I'm Joe Klemczewski with Adam Atkinson, and we're going to do a round 2 of myth busting. I don't know if I can say that. Is that trademark, Adam? We're going to get knocked off the air here. But we do have a lot of things we want to talk about because they are questions and issues that clients bring up all the time. The first one is fiber. Some coaches, and this can go back even 10, 15 years ago, some coaches just opt not to count fiber as if it is, quote, free. And some people like to include it. I always, Adam, have just looked at total carbs. Obviously, carbs come in the form of simple carbs like sugar, starch, and then fibrous carbs. And a lot of people use those as freebies, almost like the whole net carb game. And obviously, there's incentive in that. We like to see a lower carb count. And so if those are free, yippee, I can eat another 25, 40, 50 grams of carbs. But are they really free?
No, they're not. So one of the biggest things that people don't realize is that undigested fiber does get used through the hepatic portal, and you basically will use those calories, and they actually can be stored as fat just like any other calorie out there. Because if you look at contest prep ladder, calories is the second step on the ladder. So we can see what a big deal this would be if somebody just thinks fiber is free. And oftentimes when I'm playing what I like to call diet CSI with a client, and I'm trying to find out why they're not losing weight, we will usually stumble across that they're eating a bunch of vegetables and they're just not logging it. And it's like, voila, this is why we're not losing body fat right now. And, these myths die hard. We've been teaching this for probably a decade together, Joe, and I still get that same question today. Do I have to track my fiber?
Yeah. And if anybody watching or listening gets into an argument, you want to, have kind of the science behind this, fiber, first of all, can be soluble or insoluble. So a lot of times soluble fiber will get digested. It's just slower, and you can't take that out. A lot of fruit and other, what I would call kind of softer vegetables, something like, corn or peas versus the stalky, hard cruciferous, what is that word? Vegetables in terms of like broccoli, cauliflower, things like that. There is a certain amount of soluble fiber, which is absolutely directly used, but then the insoluble still ends up getting used in the large intestine because anaerobic bacteria will actually, consume them, and the byproduct, one of the byproducts is actual fat. So as you said, Adam, then that is taken back up into the body, into the digestive system through the liver, and there you go. You were eating something that you thought was fat-free, and a large part of that fiber can be utilized as fat. But in a calorie deficit, so what? It's still calories you're going to use, but if you're not accounting for them, that's where you get into trouble. And I also I have a hypothesis, and I'm, no way of knowing this, Adam. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I just think there has to be also some bad accounting for even the amount of fiber or starch in those fibrous carb sources, because anytime I have a client where we just want to, like you said, we're trying to investigate, see what's happening, and they're eating an inordinate amount of fiber, vegetables, even just gram for gram, counting fiber, if we take that down to a normal amount and replace that with starchy carbohydrates, they just simply start losing faster. So even if we're doing a calorie for calorie exchange, I find that too much fiber just slows down fat loss.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. And then, part of that just could be the improved digestion from actually, when we see this, we see people gravitate towards almost an all fiber for carb diet, and they are just eating so much. I think their digestion improves from actually adding the starch, and it actually helps them with stool formation. So that could be, because I see that too, when we add that starch back in, they do start losing. So I definitely, I can't prove that scientifically, but that's something I observe as well with my clients.
Well, I'm going to dig into that a little bit more, because I think there just still has to be something a little bit off on the accounting of that. So Anyway, guys, we hope that helps. We're going to continue on. We got a lot more to talk about in terms of different topics, things that you may have questions about, things that you may think could be impacting your progress, right or wrong. And we're going to tackle them in the next episode of Contest Prep University.